Okay, everybody hear me now? Give me a thumbs up. So what happens when you hit the mute button? Sorry about that. Just having a conversation before that. Trust me, you guys didn't want to hear. Okay, so you got to go out and find your instant ARV. How do you do that? Just go over to Zillow. Once you have that number, I want you to go hand pick 5 comps. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to lose the high and you're going to lose the low one. Next step, everybody can hear me. Awesome. The next step is you are going to calculate per square foot what the retail number is for that property. Now, once you have the square foot, I want you to take it and I want you to multiply it by 72456. Then I want you to multiply it by pi, 3.14. And then I want you to add in your wholesale fee. And then I want you to take this board and I just want you to shove it over. Oh boy, that didn't go well. That's ridiculous. Who's doing crap like this? Guys, I'm not going to teach you how to screw up your wholesale business. Please erase what I just put in your memory because this is what I see you guys doing all the time. You're trying to do all these calculations and these formulas, and you're making it so complex. And I'm here to tell you, don't make me throw this marker at you because I will, is you guys are spending way too much time comping. And I know why, because I used to be in comp hell. If you're there, I want you to understand. So what you have to do, and especially if you're starting out in wholesaling, is you have to put all your effort towards marketing and locating motivated sellers and figuring how to connect with them with rapport. That is your highest and best skill set. You are not, I may promise you, you will not make one nickel trying to get the perfect comp. In fact, you just need a rough estimate, period. Guys, you overcomp, you spend way too much time doing it. And today I'm going to show you an easy fix for it. It's actually super simple. I'm going to give you 2 simple ways to stay out of comp hell. So if you're in comp hell, raise your hand. We want to fix it. Maybe we can hop on the live today and help you out with it. And maybe we can comp an address together. I never, ever claim to be the best comper. Who's ever the best comper, 9 times out of 10, they got their real estate license. Don't believe me? Just go out and ask. So guys, make sure you use a comment. You got a question, ask it. Let's jump in. Let's make this interactive. Is comping important? Yes. You can't ignore it. I'm not telling you to do that. But as a wholesaler, the last thing you're ever going to do is get a perfect comp. We just need an idea what the property's worth right now so we can make an offer. Comping was originally designed by realtors. And the purpose of a realtor is pretty much the opposite of a wholesaler. They want to get the maximum number. And you know how you get someone to sign a listing? Basically overstate the value of the house, which is done on a daily basis. That's why most MLSs are sold at a 3 to 8% discount, probably closer to 5%, depending on what market you're. Why? Because they want to overshoot, because this is the game of real estate. So if realtors do it, why do you think you shouldn't do it as a wholesaler? Oh, because you're scared? No, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to easily come up with the numbers. So comping sucks. And I'm going to share a couple little insights before I get into it. Now, I'm here to tell you, do you suffer from comping fatigue? Meaning you spend so much time. This sounds like a legal commercial. Have you been to Camp David or like whatever it is they do? But I'm just telling you, most of you guys suffer from chronic comping fatigue. And I'm telling you, the more time you spend comping, the worse of a wholesaler you'll be, because the art of comping is to what? You get the true value of what the property will trade for today. Who's in charge of that, you think, in the end? It's the buyer. So go spend your time with the buyer, because most of the time realtors are just guessing and looking at similar like properties that are ready to go. We don't do that. In fact, I'm here to tell you, do you suffer from comping fatigue? Do you pre-comp every property before you go and seek it? I know why you do it. You guys know why you do that? is because you want to predetermine the outcome. If you pre-comp every property before you even talk to the seller, that's not wholesaling. In fact, if you do that, either listen to today's live stream or just go get your real estate license and go list properties. Realtors try to get it perfect. Wholesalers will never get it perfect. Why? Because we're buying at deep discounts. We don't care. Anything that we get above, like our price, is just icing on the cake. So if you're tired of acting like a realtor, today's live stream is for you, because that's how most of them go. And it just drives me nuts. So before we comp, I said here, before you do the pre-comp, focus on your seller first, period. In fact, wholesaling, the real estate is nothing more than the math problem. The real problem we're solving, the real solution, is helping the seller through their problem of real estate. Either they're behind on payments or they have deferred maintenance, on how they can get out of that house and just take what they can. That's what most people do. But so many people want to mix wholesaling up with like being a realtor, and it has nothing to do with it. The way I talk to motivated sellers and the way I deal with a property on MLS are literally night and day. Your relationship when you talk to a motivated seller is direct to the seller, and you develop a relationship. If I'm going to go to MLS, I have to develop a relationship with the realtor, which is a whole nother ball of wax. I don't teach that. Why? Because very few times do I work with realtors. Realtors help sell my properties. I own a real estate company with agents in it, but it's completely different. I mean, it's like night and day from wholesaling. But so many of you guys are influenced by people with a real estate license, it gets a little crazy. So we're only going to comp after we identify the motivation. This is the Bible rule right here. If you do not get this, shut off the video. Because you guys, every time you get a lead, especially when you start on wholesaling, you want to comp everything. In fact, you overcomp. The reason you overcomp is because you're uncomfortable and you're scared. That's fine. The first part of it is recognizing it. Once you do that, you understand, if I have 10 leads, guys, 1 or 2 might be worth working with. So why should I spend, let's face it, some of you guys spend like 20 minutes. If I have 10 leads at 20 minutes, that's basically roughly almost 2.5 hours of comping. What if I just took 1 or 2 of those leads, maybe even 3? And even if you spent 10 minutes, that's less than 30 minutes. Do you see how much time you guys can waste? And if you want to be busy, I promise you, you'll be broke, because you can comp till you turn blue. I don't care how long you do it. Your wholesale deal is not going to get better. In fact, I'm going to give you a statement. The longer you comp, the worse your wholesale deal is. How do I know this? Because there's an exact inverse relationship. And since I destroyed my whiteboard and I don't want to leave the camera to pick it back up, which I didn't mean to. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, that's a problem. Zach's going to be pissed. But I'm here to tell you there is a relationship. So if you figure price is on this axis and time's on this, or I'm in the camera, I'm the opposite way here, is the longer you take to comp a property, there is a direct correlation, meaning you will pay more for it. So the less time you comp, the lower you're typically going to make your offer. But if you wind up comping a property for 30 minutes, you want to know the real reason why you're comping so much? Anybody want to let me know in the comments? Why do people overcomp properties other than being scared and uncomfortable? I love it. I do. I'm an 80s child. So why do you think people, don't tell Zach about the whiteboard, please. Why do you think people overcomp properties in wholesaling, especially in the beginning? Fear is a big part of it. Boy. So this is, DeAndre's right on with that one. And then the next one is, they don't want the best deal. You're actually getting the worst deal. To make the numbers work. Here comes a real truth one. Jonathan puts in here, justifying overpaying. It's exactly right. See, because when you go out to seek a number, what you're trying to do is find what number's inside that seller's head. It's never going to happen. In fact, you want to get a yes, and you're so scared you don't get the yes that you keep creeping your offer to try to induce the seller to say yes. But the problem is your yes is going to turn into a crap load of no's. And I'm telling you, the longer you comp, the more you're going to pay. Why? Because the reality is, if you give the brain a mission to seek a number, say your seller wants 200 and you're trying to guess, say the property's worth around 200, it's a little rough. And then your brain comes up with a number you think the seller's going to accept. So you come up with like 174. Guess what? I have no idea if that number is going to stick. But why do you guys need the perfect comp? You don't. You just need a rough number, and you have to understand that, because if you keep trying to get into your seller's head, it's never going to work. So let me get back here. So here's my last statement, and then we're going to go in and show you how to do it, because we got to take action on here. I already said that one. Comps alone will not convince your seller. If you are debating with your seller based on comps, welcome to being a realtor. I've never convinced a seller just based on comps. Now, a buyer, completely different story. Sellers don't care. They don't understand the market. And I'm looking for a motivated seller that just wants to get rid of a problem and move on, but they want a fair offer. I'm okay with that. Here's the challenge, guys. If you're going to print up like a bunch of comps, whatever it is, and you're just going to go, here, seller, look, I know you said 200, but it says 172.5. Transactional. You're nothing more than a transactional person. That's what realtors do. Why on hell do you think you can do it as a wholesaler? In fact, I steer away from comps. Comps I use as a guide to make sure I have the right offer and I can get the buyers. But honestly, I always know where my comp is because it's quick, but I do not go into the weeds with the sellers. Occasionally you do, but for the most part, it doesn't work out for you. If your sole position is to convince the seller based on the comps, go get your real estate license, because that is transactional. It is not conversational. Are comps important? Absolutely. And listen, if the comps show the property is worth 250 and the seller wants 400, you can show them all the comps you want. You're not going to walk them off the ledge. And I don't even spend time doing that. If realtors want to do that, they can knock themselves out. I focus on the seller's problem and how I can solve it by buying their property. If I can't, I just move on. I am not going to sit there and waste time on comps. Comps only work when you do not do relationship wholesaling, period. Because it's strictly about the number and nothing else. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people reject my offers. I'm not telling you I don't have a magic formula, but this statement right here, 22 years, I've never completely convinced a motivated seller to sell me their property because the comps say this. Can you gently guide them? Yeah. But for the most part, there is no magic secret words, no magic sauce, nothing that convinces a seller to sell you at a deep discount. Either the situation's right and they're confident in the solution you've offered and you project professionalism, or sometimes the number's so far off, there's nothing you can do. And that's why I don't waste time on like showing comps. Honestly, realtors don't have a great success with it either. So I'm telling you, you can do it as a reference. I'm not saying ignore comps, the farthest thing from it. I just don't waste time. If a property's worth 250 and they want 450, I just don't spend a lot of energy on that property. Unless I know the property's beat up, it's vacant or something like that. If the property's motivated, I'm going to go all in. If the property's not motivated, I just might put them in a follow-up sequence and I'm not going to spend energy on it. So if we know comps alone will not convince a seller, you've got to understand, do not sit there and print comp reports. I don't use them for the seller unless you have to get in the weeds on a particular type of seller. But okay. And that's what we want to do. So let's do this. Let's jump in and show you how to do it. So if I'm going to give you a simple way, and I'm telling you, comping, it should not be your strength in wholesaling. If it is, you'll make a really good realtor and they would love to take your money from you. But I don't do that. Why? Here's the reality, guys. If a property's worth 250 the way it sits and it is, and I want to buy it as an investor, I have to buy it for a deep discount. The only way I'm going to do that is strike up a conversation and develop a relationship and see if I can solve their problem. If I can solve their problem, it's worth 250, which means I'm not going to sell it for 250. I have to sell it to another cash buyer in my contract and give them a deal on it. I'm going to have to sell it way below it. So if you guys try to offer it at like 229.5 or 235.6, you're just going to get a crap load of no's. You got a yes, but you're going to get a no. And if you get that, where are you going to go? So if I know a property is worth 250, just start way below. Why? You're going to get rejected on your first offer. Do you know 95% of all wholesale offers are rejected on the first try? So if you know it, go in with a strategy. The worst thing you can do is go, you take 220? No. You take 230? No. You take 232? No. That's a purely transactional wholesaler. It means they are only interested in your price and nothing else. And if that's it, you might as well go to an online auction. So if we know that, let's jump into it. And let me do a screen share here. Let me figure out how to do this. You guys know my technology. So how do we get this calculator? Let me show you a simple online calculator. So if you guys go to freewholesaling.com, by the way, the largest wholesaling group, honestly, the largest real estate investing group on the internet, hands down. So I think we're around almost 13,500, 14,000. I got 104 online right now. So here's all you need to do is just go over to, by the way, check this all out. By the way, this is 100% free. You can get access to everything. And if you go into the classroom, we teach you each one of these. By the way, there's plenty of people that will sell you this stuff. I just give it to you. Look at it. Look at this. You want to learn probates? The whole thing's right here. There was a person that bought this program a long time ago when I was young, and he was charging $500 a pop. I don't charge a dime for it. Why? Because I need you guys to be successful in wholesaling so we can do deals together. So if you go down to ARVs, which what we're talking about today, and if you look in this, how to find the offer price, repair cost, ARVs, everything. And then if we go down to this, I'm going to show you how to do a simple AI offer. So just click on that link and you'll see here. Now, what we need to do is we need to find an address. So let me hop out of here and grab an address real quick. I got so many screens up sometimes. Okay, hang with me. And let's find, where do you guys want to pick a property out? Who in the comments, if you guys want to put in an address, maybe something you're working on, please don't give away your private leads. But if you have one, you'll work with you. I'll give you like a minute. If not, I will stick one in there. I get tired of doing my own markets after a while. If you have an address you want me to help you comp real quick, I'll show you the fast way to do it. Like lightning fast. I used to say 10 minutes up to 5 years ago. And the last year I've cut it down to 5 minutes. Let's see if we can knock it down to 60 seconds. So I got cities here, guys. Okay, here we go. Raquel's got an address. Okay. Let me write this down. 3, 5. So we're going to do it in Chicago. So I've never comped in Chicago. Yeah, I have comped there before. 98th Street. I don't know if we can do it without a zip, but we'll find out. Okay. So let me start off in here. And let's just make sure this address exists. 1, 2, 3, 5. And I'm going to show you 2 of the easiest ways to comp anything without any stress, even if you have zero experience. Southwest, 98th. We might. 1, 2, 3, 5. It's not coming up. 1, 2, 3, 5 Southwest, 98th Street. Let's see if I'm missing something here. Chicago, Southwest. Hold on. I don't want to take it away from Raquel. She was the first one up. You guys are putting 3 million addresses. Hold on for a second, okay? Oh, west. Duh. Okay. Okay. I got it. Perfect. Let's see. Okay. So let me go back in here and let me go under my repair calculator. And I should. Hold on, guys. Okay. So I'm going to click this button and you should see on your screen AI repair cost. And of course, it's not in there. So let me switch because every time I open a window, I've got to click. I got a lot of windows open here, and that's, let's see here. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. Perfect. So here's what I'm going to do is based on this property. The first thing I like to do is you can go over to Zillow and just one of the ways to do it, which helps you out a lot, is sticking the address. So I'm going to do Zillow real quick while we wait. So let's see, 1235 West 98th. Okay. 1838 is the square feet. So I'm simply going to go over to this. And the first one at 1838. There's 5 seconds gone. Let's just say it doesn't need a new roof. We try to pick the big items. Say that the kitchen does need updates and say we need new flooring. And let's just say we have to renovate one of the bathrooms. And we'll renovate one of the bedrooms, usually the master. And then what you got to do is just, if you go up there, is you can copy the Zillow link in there, and it just makes it really easy. So I'm going to put the Zillow link in there. Does have foundation, no foundation issues. So guys, this is just a shoot over the bow, okay? So it's going to generate a summary. Check this out. Right there, the red box comes up and it says a prompt to give to AI. All you got to do is highlight it and copy it. Everybody with me so far? Everybody hear me? This is it. We're using AI to be advantaged. The beauty of AI is it'll get pricing in your local market for repairs like flooring, roof, and stuff like that. Is it perfect? It's far from perfect. But if you want a simple, and to me, this is the most advanced like way to do a comp. I'm even going to show you an easier way. So now that I have that, I am going to, now I got to jump in another screen. And we are going to go in. Now, you can use whatever you want for AI. You can use Chat GPT, all this. I tell you, dude, I don't know how long DeepSeek's going to be around. I got a feeling they're going to have issues. DeepSeek by far is the most thorough because it's going to tell you what it's thinking. So all I'm going to do is paste this in there. And then I'm going to hit the little blue arrow. Now, you see this thinking? I can do this in Chat GPT. I just, not that I want to promote this site, but like it's pretty insane. It tells you what it's thinking and how it's calculating everything. I've never seen another AI do this. And if you want to get as much as you want into the weeds, I don't. I just want to spit out a number. So based on the information I told it there, it's going to keep working through there. It looks like it's writing you a book, but it's pretty crazy. So now it's going to be in the bold. It's going to give you a summary of what it thinks the repairs are. So they're telling you the repairs would be between 38 and 60. And I'm here to tell you, oh boy. Which one? Cameron. No. Okay. So the repair is, I'm just going to put like 45 as a number on that. And it just came up. This is an advanced way to do it. Keep in mind, it keeps in mind the local cost. That's what I do like about it. Now, You can do all this inside of X Leads on that. But now we have the numbers. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go back here. Don't worry. I'm going to make it easier and easier as I do these. I'm going to stop this screen. And now I'm going to share. And we're going to go back to our. So now that I know that, I'm just going to put in the after repaired value around 40. Let's just do 45. Oh, wait a minute. Duh. I'm going to put it in at 45,000 and Zillow pop this baby up. We just take their number 224. Let's do 225, a nice even number. And that's it right there. So your maximum allowed offer, which is what you all like factor everything, is 153. Your LAO, which is the least allowable offer, is 107.1. Simple. It's not, but like, guys, I'm just telling you, if the property's worth 2.25, stop trying to make that perfect offer. In fact, let me get back on the screen here. Who cares? Do you want to pay retail for the property? Then sit there and do the comp till you turn blue. I'm just telling you, comps are important. I'm not telling you to ignore them, but buy the property cheap enough to where you don't have to justify a comp. So the problem is if you offer to pay like 155 for the property, you're going to be comping for hours because you're going to have a hard time. And you're going to go out, and if you tell your mind to find a comp for 155 in a property in that condition, you'll eventually find one. The problem is you don't know the story behind it. Now, I don't want to talk to realtors, do all that stuff. This is why I'm going to make an offer probably starting around 105 to 110,000. Guess what? I already know what the seller's going to say to me. If you're so scared, get out of the business. I don't know what to tell you. Be transactional or be a conversational wholesaler. I promise you the conversational wholesaler will hit it out of the park. The transaction, they'll seem busy. They do a lot of deals, but they have to attract the seller based on price alone. I'm not a guy who pays top dollar. In fact, if you pay top dollar, you're not a very good wholesaler. In fact, you're just a fix and flipper, in my opinion. So if we understand that and we know that, we have to know how to make the offer. So if you guys want, you can go inside of, just go to freewholesaling.com, register in our school community, the largest of them all. There's a reason for it, guys. There's a reason why people work with me and Zach, because we actually wholesale this business and we know how to make offers. I love when people kind of make fun of us. It's because you don't understand. Like, I get it. If you skip the fundamentals of wholesaling and you don't want to do the marketing part, go for it. Just tell me how long it lasts. Tell me how long you can get other people to keep feeding you leads, because you are completely in their power. And I don't know about you, but I don't let anybody take control of my business other than me. Can you get deals from pay-per-click, pay-per-lead? Really? Yes. But in the beginning, most likely, you don't have a lot of money. You're going to have to go out and cultivate your own leads, and you'll have to work with it. Now, let's go one more way. And then what we are going to do is we are going to do some lives, because I haven't done them on here in a while. And I'm going to go ahead and post it on first come, first serve. If you need help with something, you want to talk about wholesaling, I've already posted it in the comments. So go ahead and put that on there. Now, let me show you the easiest and simple ways. So if you don't have a software or anything like that, honestly, you can use exactly what I just showed you. Just go over to freewholesaling.com. All you have to do is register, no credit card. I know it's shocking. That means that give our stuff away for free. And I don't sell any type of course. There's a reason for it. And you know what? When people do different than what the market's doing, you should pay attention, because this is how innovators actually help people out and grow the business. If we all do the same old tired thing forever, eventually someone's got to break it. I already know me and Zach broke it. I just saw today, like, I think it was 2 other people literally copying exactly what we do. And like, I don't care, but it is what it is. But the problem is, if you've charged a bunch of money for courses and stuff like that, and now you want to like make it free, you guys are welcome, because that's all from me and Zach. They wouldn't do it if we didn't do this. So take advantage of it's there. It's great. Yeah, you can use DeepSeek, you can use AI, you can use Gemini. I don't have a dog in any of those fights. I don't think DeepSeek will last, but it's pretty cool. It's very, very simple on how to do it and make it work. So let's jump on here and do. Let me show you inside of X Leads real quick. And let me pop up the screen here. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. So this is the property I looked up for Raquel. Raquel. I apologize if I butchered your name. I'm not the best with it. And this is it. So if we look, guys, remember, X Leads has unlimited skip tracing, get 15,000 leads, even with the basic account. You can import, you can export. There's no limitations. There's no other software that's going to give you what we provide you. Hopefully we can get others to change, but here's the reality. I want to cover this up because I don't want the video to get shut down. And then you can see that this property is an expired listing. I don't put a lot of weight in that. There's a lot of wholesalers that think that's the golden veil. It's not. I'm just telling you, expired listings means you overpriced it and nobody wants it. And someone's going to have to take a truth serum. So here's all I do, guys. Say I have the seller on the phone. And by the way, I already have their name. It's Linford and Thomas. And I get them on the phone. I have their phone number. I have their email. Boom. Here's the retail. What did I tell you? Zillow has it at 224, I think 5. X Leads has it at 225,863. Now I'm just here to tell you, you can sit here and run. I love when people run analysis against like X Leads. Everybody does it a little bit different because let's face it, a lot of this stuff is proprietary and you can't just sit there and copy and hack into other people's stuff. And if you do, you're going to have problems. So since we have our own formulas, the retail is nothing more than the ARV. Does everybody understand that? And then over here, we have a wholesale number. That is a target you should shoot for. If you get near this number, in my opinion, like 155 or below, it's perfect. So remember back when we did our ARV, which let me just remind you real quick. Let me go here. I'm getting you guys. Hold on. If we go back to let me see if this is it. Everybody see the screen? And by the way, I picked this property randomly. I didn't pre-do this just to show you the value of how you need to comp. So if you look on this comp, the range is 107 to 155. Now, if we jump back to X Leads, the easiest way, in my opinion, to do it is just jump into X Leads because we've reversed hacked this and figured out how to do it. I'm talking to the sellers 225. The seller goes, I need 480. Guess what? Hey, let me know if anything changes. We'll follow up in like a month or 2, 3 months. I don't spend time. You can show them all the comps you want. That's not a motivated seller and you're wasting your time. Remember, focus on the seller and not the property at first. Because if the seller does not have a motivation to get rid of the problem, the odds of you getting a deep discounted property is usually a waste of time. Let's face it, perfect properties go to realtors and they go on the MLS. So we have the rental rates. Not that I overly care about this occasionally, but I have a wholesale number. And I told you the other one, 155 is your max. That's why we want you to make a lower offer on it. So if I want to end up at 145 to say 160, you have to make a lower offer. But you guys are all trying to get the perfect offer and it becomes really problematic. And I'm just telling you, every time I talk to a seller, this is all I do. I know the instant ARV. And by the way, you can do it right there on your phone on the X Leads app. And then I have a wholesale number and I got a retail number. And if I don't have a spread, then your job is to verify the repairs and all that other fun stuff. Most likely, if it's got a spread, you put it under contract, you do your due diligence, and you find a cash buyer to take over your contract. That's it, guys. It's not complicated. And the whole purpose of X Leads, back in the day when I actually had to go sit in a realtor's office. It would literally take me 50 minutes to get the one comp. And I remember, can you comp this? Can you comp that? I remember just the deep eye roll, the sigh. It's like, oh, like Rick, that's a lot of work. I need something in exchange from you to do all this. They were looking for listings. And I had to give up listings just to make that work. And if you understand that, you guys just need to get clarity. You will not be paid proportionally on how well you comp. In fact, the more you comp, the worse your deal is going to get. Keep in mind, I'm not telling you not to comp. Someone's going to take me out of context here. I'm telling you to comp quickly because your first comp, is usually the right one. And what I find is the longer we comp, the more we try to seek and justify our overpricing. And it's your old personality because you didn't kill the old part of yourself trying to do old things in the new wholesaler's body, and it's never going to work. Sometimes the value just hits you in the face. If the property is worth 225 and they need 280, you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot, and shoving comps in their face is not going to it usually doesn't go well. And so we need to spend time with those people. The whole purpose of today is to show you how to comp easily, swiftly, and quickly. So let me do this one more time, and then I promise I stop and we'll jump on and help people. If you guys just go into XLeads, to me, this is one of the most important features of the software. ARV, wholesale number. Why? I don't have time to waste time. In the beginning, you need to spend all your energy chasing down government lists, driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars, doing your networking, and finding motivated sellers. I never, ever told you to spend hours and weeks on end comping everything. And if I get 100 leads and I get 5 people want to talk to me, I'm just going to go, okay, 225. Let's see where they wind up. I'm going to target like 145 to 155. Boom. If you get it like sub this, you just got to verify the repairs. And that's the catch with doing it virtual. We get deals under contract all the time. We find out it's got $70,000, $80,000 repairs. And the seller didn't really share that with us. And if you know that going into it, you can easily beat those up. So I think that's it on comping. Let me see what else I had on here. I had some other things I should put up my my lawyer. If you're suffering from comp fatigue, this is the video for you. So guys, I'm just telling you, comping, honestly, there is like the more time you do it, the better. I get it. All real estate's local, and I get it. Like in Florida, once you know the particulars in the neighborhood, people prefer concrete block homes called CBS. Why? Because everybody's freaked out about a hurricane. It's kind of funny when people say it because your entire roof is constructed of wood. The trusses, the boards, everything. The frame around your windows, wood. A lot of people don't understand there's still 50% of the house is almost made up of wood. But see, concrete block homes get on average 12 to 15% more than a wood frame home. And then I could go in when you guys have basements, how they do the pipes, all that stuff. Like a pool in Florida, there's a set value it adds, and that's it. A bathroom, just a guest bath, there's a number. On a master bath, there's a number, and you can easily add it up. Now, inside XLeads, if you want to get like granular in the detail to help out maybe one of your cash buyers, there is an analyzing tool, and it is based on the zip code you're at, and you can do that. I don't want you spending that much time. If you have to spend that much time convincing, usually when I have cash buyers, they are looking at their own set of comps and their own repair estimates. And no matter what I give them, they're going to come to the conclusion of their number. Now, that doesn't excuse you from not knowing what the repairs need to be. And by the way, repairs, same thing. You just got to get an estimate. You'll never get it perfect. So if you deem it 50 grand, just try to. So if a cash buyer comes in and goes, there's 100 grand with the damage, you go, listen, I went through my contractor and priced it, or maybe you just even did it online, and I couldn't come up more than like 50, 55. And most of the time, the deep repairs that cash buyers give you, they're trying to take advantage of you. And so you want to know how to do that. So I've shown you how to go into AI, how you can do it. Now we're going to be building a lot of these features inside of XLeads, which is going to be really cool. So if you hang out with it, we'll have more features. But now you have the ability to pull up the comp. You have the CRM built in. You have the Go High Level built in there. It's all free in your XLeads account. And then keep in mind, you can do full dispo, absolutely everything. And then you get unlimited skip tracing. You get their email, and then you can just go crazy with this thing. So this is why I love it. But there's one simple tool, comping. I have to do this about twice a year and then show you guys, hey, do not be the overcomper. It's like you're overcompensating for something, and we shouldn't make it happen like that. So if you understand that, you get it. So what I want to do is answer some questions. We'll take some lives. We're wide open to talk about whatever we want today. Awesome. Okay. So you guys enjoyed the 26 page guide that we did. Raquel, there is a balance on the mortgage. Like I don't, so inside of X leads, when you do this, um, let me show you. Um, this is where you guys kind of get in the weeds on it. And this is where I'm not up, but when I get down to the final negotiations, I'm all for it. But like, just to show you, Raquel, on this, is there a mortgage on it? You just simply slide down here and then you look right under financial insights and it'll tell you the mortgage amount. It'll tell you the property taxes, the estimated mortgage balance, the loan to value ratio, the AVM, the market value. And then if you want to get down to the details, it'll give you all the transactions, all the recordings against the property. And it looks like they took out a loan in 2017. So, not that looking at people's mortgages really make a difference to me. It's important to know when you're negotiating because obviously it's kind of hard to go below the mortgage because to have a motivated seller write a check at the table, which I've had them do before in like really bad situations. For the most part, we want to help them out as much as we can. So I am reading questions here. So let's take Nolvin's questions. He just popped it up here. Says, I have a profit that I flipped in Florida. I'm thinking on getting equity from the property to continue investing and do a seller finance on the property. That way I can make probably more money than that mark is low. What are your thoughts? You'd have to kind of share the details of the deal because I have no insight on how much profit it is, what's your risk level, how many deals have you done. So Nelvin, I can help you out. We just got to get all that information. One of the best places is to go to our school community, freewholesaling.com. And there's an entire army of dedicated wholesalers in our community that would be more than willing to help you out with that. So awesome. Okay, let's jump on some lives. I'm just trying to make sure I got all the questions here. So this one real quick, the estate tax, it depends on the size of the state, what state you're in. There's so many variables. Remember, probate includes all assets that are titled in the individual names, even stuff that's not titled. They're basically taking inventory of the deceased persons and following their wishes in the will. So depending on what level you're at, a lot of estate taxes, there's a threshold you have to hit. So I'm not a tax attorney, so I'm not the best to do that. So I just want you to understand that. Let's see here. So Ralph's point. So guys, also in the Facebook group, Wholesaling Houses for Real and Zach Discord, don't forget about it, man. It's pretty awesome. So, and I believe tonight, Zach does some high level training on Go High Level, which I want to say is around 5:00. But once again, if you go inside of your school community under community, and let me show you real quick, and then we'll jump on the calls here. Let's see. Let's see. So if you go inside of freewholesaling.com, so right here you have a live, you know I'm live. And then under the calendar, which is very powerful, it will tell you everything that's going on and when it is, and you can click on there. And here's a community I talk about. You can post whatever, and like there's tons and tons of activity on people that help out there. So let's do this. Let's jump on and let's bring some people on here, man. Chris, what's going on, man? Hold on. Let me get the volume fixed here because
I was muted.
Perfect. It's usually me, dude. What's going on, man? Where are you calling from?
I'm in South Jersey.
South Jersey. Awesome, man. What's going on, man?
So, well, first, I just want to say thanks. You guys do a great job. It's really awesome what you guys are doing. So
we appreciate you, man. What can I help you out with?
Sure. So I got two questions. So my primary way that I'm finding deals is SMS. I use a different system. I just picked up your guys' system last week.
Okay.
So I'm going through all that. I want to have that replace everything. But in the meantime, I'm still using the old system.
Got it.
So I send up about 1,200 a day. And it's mostly misses, I would say, just from SMS.
Mm-hmm.
So my question would be the people that come back, like, whatever my pitch is, and like they say, no, forget it or something like that. You think it's worth still trying to call those people? Because from a text message standpoint, a lot of times people just don't want to deal with it. They just said, no, it's an easy out for them.
Well, the thing is, so how long you been wholesaling for?
About like 5 years.
Got it. So you've got some deals under your belt, I assume, after 5 years.
Yeah.
So at some point, you've got to use the intel you have. 'Cause remember, all real estate's local. Like I can go from my market to your market. We can compare notes. We'd screw each other up so bad, other than the fundamentals. Like the way I've got to make offers here in Florida is completely different how I do it. Not that Jersey's that much easier, anyways, but
Yeah.
you just after five. So most people I talk to are brand new and they have no idea, and so we have to set some guidelines for them, boundaries. And my whole theory is I do not chase people like far right or far left. If you are convinced your house is worth $1 million and I made you an offer at 150,
Right.
I'm not here to change your mind. Like, honestly, either I'm a good fit or I'm not. I don't chase people. I'll pursue them, but I don't chase them. So what you have to do is set a boundary. So if your predominant way to deliver your message, your marketing meeting is through SMS, and then when people respond back and say F off or absolutely no, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Not so much the F off stuff. I just leave that alone. But
I got it.
maybe it's a soft no, or somebody
Polite
comes
no,
back
right?
and says like they throw a price out and it's really the retail value of the house that they're looking for.
So I'm here to tell you the rules have changed in 2025 how we do this, because in the old days, the old Rick, I would never ever throw away a phone number I paid for, ever. And the fact that now you can go inside of XLeads and get free skip tracing means you don't have to play that game as much anymore. Now, I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste money, depending on what type of system and how much bulk delivery you're doing. You have to decide who fits in that. So if your goal is to send out 10, 15,000 hits a month, how many are you doing? You said 1,200 a day.
Yeah. So the system caps at 20,000 a month.
So you just have to make a decision. So are you using Ninja mode inside of XLeads?
Well, I have it. I haven't used it yet because there's a lot there to.
So that would be an amazing place for you to do a little bit of testing. I never just say no. Like if I have a lead and they politely say no, it just means no right now. Everything in real estate is timing. So you could take those, I wouldn't call them dead leads. I just call them very cold. And
Right.
you can put them in a folder, and you could run them through XLeads and run a 3 or 6 month campaign and see if you can tickle anyone out of it. The key with it is you don't really have to do any work to do that. Yeah, you have to set up the system, the whole A2P, all that fun stuff, which I know you're familiar with.
Yeah.
But that would be a great way to test it because it really doesn't cost you a lot of money. It might cost you 20, 30 bucks to run those lists and automate it and see if you can tickle anyone out of there. I will try anything for 6 months to a year. After 1 year, you got to make a decision. Like it's when the data is there and it just says no and you didn't get anywhere, you move on. I get it, but you do a lot of data, and I don't. Have you ever tickled someone from a soft no, a polite no?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would use like an X Leads Ninja mode to automate some of that stuff because you're a one-man army, correct?
Yes.
And so the thing is, the old days, if we tried to do that ourselves, we literally lose our mind. Now it's
Right.
going to take you a couple hours and probably another 10 hours of like training and understanding it, because that's the challenge with Go High Level. Everybody thinks they're an expert until you get into it.
Yeah.
Trust me, there's a lot of details in automation. There's really cool people here and understand it, especially in our school community under freewholesaling.com.
Okay.
But like if you use the whole idea of Ninja mode is so you can try stuff like this, because if you try to do this on your own, I would absolutely tell you not to do it. It's just too much. It's like if I have to put 10,000 people there to have a shot at one, the question is how much mental brain power do I have to do it?
Right.
And that's where you got to go. You got to let like an AI conversation, let someone have those little BS conversations to see if the lead will move forward. If it shows no signs of moving forward, then you can decide to put it in a dead lead or like a follow-up type of deal. But this is why we created the Go High Level inside of X Leads, because most CRMs that do comping list and skip, they cannot handle the automations for the follow-up. And by the way, about 65 to 75% of your deals are going to come from follow-ups. So the way I would do that is you're going to have to take some time. It is an upfront investment, but once you systematize it, you can do a lot of other your stuff with the SMS. And that's the real value of X leads. And keep in mind, you can do it with the basic account. You don't need much.
Yeah.
So
The guys,
where do you get your skip tracing from?
well, I was using Deal Machine, but now I'm switching. I want to switch over to you guys.
Yeah, I just gave you a pay raise, dude. Like,
Yeah.
so listen, I'm not here to knock Deal Machine. They're a great driving for dollars. That's their forte. And honestly, everything else is, I mean, they've done some great advancements. It's a good company. Some of the pricing doesn't make sense to me.
Well, switching to you guys, once I get it all figured out, we'll probably
Okay.
save at least $500 a month. So,
Yeah, no. So my suggestion is just get something to aid to do that follow up, because they are very low probability list. But as you move forward, you want to increase your odds. And if you could just get one or two more deals out of a certain list, that's how you wind up doing an extra 9 or 10 deals in a year. Because you got to push it somewhere and you got to find it. And the best way to do it is with automation. And as AI becomes more predominant, which, by the way, all AI is going to go through like go high level. Like there's the automation's already built in there to do it. You just tie in bots and stuff.
right.
So the sooner you guys learn it, the better off you do. Just so you know, I've spent 4 months. I hate every minute of it, but like I get the value of it. It's hard. And I can't sit here and offer you guys something if I don't understand it. So I have to sit down. I sit down an hour every day and I hate it. I've done, but now I get it. So today I did 9 contracts and we did it. We have an e-sign built into our Go High Level Ninja mode. So I've been paying $75 a month for this. We got rid of it. We just run everything through our office. It's so clean and cut. It's just dynamite. And by the way, you can automate the entire system how you do it. So if you do SMS, I strongly suggest through X Leads the Ninja mode. It is a huge benefit to you. And then keep in mind, if you're paying for skip tracing, that's just a simple decision you just need to make. Like that's easy.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to do, and remember, if you want to start with the basics of X Leads and work your way up, but me and Zach, if you do the X plan, we do 2 support calls a week, and we make sure every question gets answered. End of story.
Okay.
And we kind of walk through it, and you can. We do messaging, and then our whole staff is involved in doing it. So you get support from the founders and the creators of it, which is extremely rare, because we want the product to be so successful that you guys spread the word on your own. So we invest in you guys and taking care of you instead of spending huge dollars in advertising and stuff like that.
Got it.
What else you got?
So a JV question. I do some virtual wholesaling down in Florida as well. And
Cool. What parts?
So mostly Jacksonville, and I've done a bunch in Jacksonville and one in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the markets I don't know that well, and I don't really have boots on the ground.
Gotcha.
So as far as your JV situation goes, like, so if I get something under contract, I send it to you guys. How do you guys handle that part of it? Like, do you guys also reach out to the seller to handle any of that part of it? Am I the primary contact, or does it?
So it just depends. Like there's no 2 JV deals are ever alike. So you seem like you know what you're doing and like you have experience in doing it. So if you just need help finding a buyer, all we ask you is like, tell us what you want. Like, tell us what you want to accomplish with it. We get a lot of people that are inexperienced. They write a bad contract and like, listen, Rick, this lady's highly motivated, but I screwed it up. Can you help me unwind the damage? I'm like, well, what did you tell her? And like, I think I over offered her the property. I go, okay, what's the deal with the property? And we get all the information in and we do a 3-way call.
Okay.
I don't think you need a 3-way call. Like if you know how to lock up great wholesale deals and you just need help moving it, either we move it ourselves or we find someone that we've done business with in that market that's established, that understands what we're trying to accomplish. And it's not easy finding these people. It is an ongoing process that we do. So we try to do the deals with our company, but every now and then we don't have a buyer for like a certain market. And then the idea, I tell you up front, I go, man, there's just not enough money in it. Just take the deal down yourself. I can't split $8,000 with you because by the time we get down to the numbers, it's not worth my time. Right. And I'm brutally honest, and I get people upset with me. I'm like, I told you the truth. Most of the time when people submit JV deals to me, they typically overpay for the property. So unless you, and that's usually a newbie thing. And then the idea is we teach them and train them. So a lot of newbies they'll bring me 4 or 5 properties. And by the fourth and fifth one, I mean, they're literally hitting out of the park. And you know what I tell every one of them? Go do this yourself. You're a bit like, I could do this forever with you.
Right. Right.
I mean, I made 50 grand last week just sharing deals with you. I love doing it. And if it gives you the confidence and the inspiration and you're scared you're going to screw it up, I'll do it. Just understand we're splitting the deal. And if you screw me on it, I ain't going to sue you. I believe karma comes back and haunts people that do that. And I have plenty of people that come up with an excuse why they can't pay me. And so I have better protections built in, but it's straightforward. I don't have any hidden fees. I have nothing like that, Chris. I go, dude, you got a deal. If there's 30 grand in profit, you get 15, I get 15, and I make sure we get through the end of the line. Now, what do I do with that? I do have transaction coordinators. I do have relationships with title companies. I do have relationships with great cash buyers, and I do have capital to buy. And every now and then we got to fund a deal because you got a really bad tenant or like you have an owner that just won't let anybody inside. Yeah. And all I say is like, Chris, if I got to fund it, we got to make sure there's money in this thing.
Those are the two biggest issues I come up against is tenant or it's just hard to get access.
But you understand, Chris, to go, listen, okay, if I'm buying it with your bad tenant, you should be getting a much better deal, right?
Right.
Because it's going to require some funding and stuff like that. So I try to keep the funding to a minimum because I don't like to waste money. And I prefer to do an assignment of contract, but like not everything goes down like that. So if you have parts in Florida, it's an easy reach for me because I'm right here. So I do pretty much everything from like Cape Canaveral down. And the further south you get, it just gets ridiculous. Don't even consider Miami. You can still do Miami, don't get me wrong, but there's very few properties under 650,000 that aren't and I mean, those are like 2-1s. So I would love to do it with you. You can reach out. And then what we're doing with X Leads is people that are in our X plan is we're making a portal inside of X Leads where you can submit the deal directly. And the really cool part, since we're all working on the same platform, I don't have to retype all the information. I don't have to rerun the comps. Okay. You're like, hey, you click a button, you share. I only look at that lead. I don't look at anything else in your system. And then we give you an answer in 24 hours if we're going to move forward with it or not. Nice. So by you guys working directly with that, we can give you answers. Yes, we still get deals submitted to sellmypaper.com, but they're far and few between the deals in there. I find people that work with me on the X plan, they are the most committed. It's not a requirement, but I give those people always the benefit of the doubt, and they always get an answer in 24 hours because you need answers. You can't wait a week to find out. And I tell people, do not bring me your JV deals that you've tried to market for 30 days. I'm not a magician.
Gotcha.
So if you have 30 days to sell it and you don't have any buyers, let's start from day one. Or if you need help writing the contract, we can work. Why I like X Leads is because I don't have to sit there and have you retype a freaking email. And I don't want you to retype it. If we're both looking at the same data sets and the same piece of software, it should be an instant decision, in my opinion. And we found over the last 4 years, the biggest holdup is getting the emails, responding, approving, telling what we need. I don't want to do that anymore. So we will be having that hopefully by Q2. And I think you guys will really enjoy it. So take a look, evaluate your plan. I think you already know what you're going to do and move forward. Because I got some other ideas for you if you want to come in. So which markets, what other markets you do outside of Florida?
I do some in Atlanta, not recently though. I've done some in Columbus, and then I'm all over New Jersey as well. New Jersey, it's been fairly difficult to get them at a good price.
Yeah,
but I've put a lot of resources down into Florida recently. I guess over the past 6 months or so, and it's been going well,
And here's a guy on here that does boots on the ground over there if you need any help. But as I said, register in freewholesaling.com. And then if you decide to join our X plan, we have a private mastermind community. And where do you live?
I'm in Burlington County in South Jersey.
Got it. So just so you know, twice a year, we also do a private mastermind for the people in X Leads X plan. The next one we're doing is in April in LA because I got a lot of people on the West Coast. And then we usually do one in Florida. And you're invited. There's no additional cost. You come out there and then you can really, I have people bring 8-9 deals out there. And I love to do it. It's a pain in the ass to travel, but
Okay.
It is what it is. So if you decide you want to take a trip out to LA, I don't go out to California often, but it's a long ride for me. But so guys, when I'm in LA, I'm going to be out there for 2 weeks. So we do a lot of meetups. We can do some dinners. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'll connect with you and share our schedule when we do it. So either way, though, Chris, like you've got the experience. I would actually, and I'm not selling you, and I'm just telling you, it would give you a pay raise and allow you to do more things, and it gives you the ability to do a JV. My favorite deal is when obviously probate's hands down. You know how I work, but when I get a tenant in there and like the landlord's like, man, the tenant's crazy. I don't want to like deal with them. That's usually where I get my deepest discounts outside of probates, and you should too. So if you have that, go, Rick, listen, I'm not going to nickel and dime you on the funding. So if it cost me 8 to 9 grand to fund it, and you know the cost of money,
Right.
if we have a big enough spread, I'm not going to nickel and dime you it. Like I can't. But we have to have big spreads to do that. I can't do them with $5,000 and $8,000 margins and close on them. And people get upset with me. I'm like, it's like, don't be mad at me for telling you the truth, man. Because if you don't find the truth, you actually make progress from your failures. So you overpaid for the property. Either try to unwind it, bring it down, and bring it back to me. And that's how we do it. So I have to have a filtering mechanism because we get about almost 300 properties a day, and most of them are skipped off of Craigslist, MLS, stuff like that, Zillow, and most of them don't cut the thread.
Gotcha.
That's why I want to do everything inside X Leads, because it's just easier. So let me know if you sign up and reach out, and we'll connect.
I'm already signed up on there, but
okay.
I just it's a lot to go through. So
no, it is, and I'm just telling you, take your time in the ninja mode to go high level. But I'm just telling you, it doesn't cost you anything. I had somebody called me like 3 weeks ago. I was doing customer support. By the way, I do customer support for like 2 hours once a week, so I can learn all the problems you guys do. And boy, do you guys have some problems. And the guy's like, I want to cancel because I don't understand ninja mode. I go, it's free. Like you can't cancel because of that. Like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I'm just like telling you, like you just have to learn it in little increments. So honestly, it took me 4 months to be good at it. And there's people in this chat that are so much better than I am. You got Juan, you got Stan, you got Luca, like people that are really good at this stuff. Corey, it's ridiculous. And I learned from you guys a lot because I don't do the follow-up part in the CRM. I've been doing this 22 years, but I've deep dive back into it so I understand it. The ninja thing is pretty wild. The damn thing tricked me. My son goes, hey, watch what happens to this. I go, dude, this guy keeps asking me about the property. He won't leave me alone. He goes, that's ninja mode hammering you. I go, oh. And you control every part of it, and that's what you'll like about it, Chris. So check it out.
The guys that were helping, I sent a bunch of emails in the day that I got it, and the guys respond. I forget the people's names, but they were all
Joseph, Jericho.
I think it was Joseph. Yeah, he was very patient.
Lewis. I mean, we guys, it's a full staff. So I still love wholesaling. I love wholesaling more than I love software. But with today's age, you got to have some sort of software so you can just like run your data. So you can have one place to get it all. That's my preference. But so people go, hey, Rick, when should I do X Leads? If you can get a pay raise from the current softwares you use and you become a better wholesaler, then do it. And I get it. If you signed up a yearly thing with someone, I get it. Be smart about it. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to provide you the most value and the most benefit in wholesaling. So,
yeah.
Okay, Chris, I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it.
Okay, see you. Awesome. Philip, what's going on, man? You're still muted there. I see your mic covered up. You're still showing muted.
There we go.
There you go.
About that. Hey, Rick. Thanks.
What's up, Philip? How you doing,
man? I'm good. How about you?
I'm fantastic, dude. It's like 80 degrees in Florida, man. I'm back in my happy spot, man. It got a little cold there for a few weeks.
Man, I'm in the deserts of Albuquerque. I think we're about 65 today.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty chilly.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Yeah. Hey, I don't really have any questions. I've been gone from following you guys for a while.
I I remember you.
And there's all this X leads talk. I was thinking about maybe using X leads to replace Privy, which I use, which is like PropStream.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's a
in
no-brainer. That's a
a
no-brainer.
non-disclosure state, so I don't know what is.
XLeads works perfectly in non-disclosure states. You don't have
That was
any
my
issues.
question. That was
No
my
issues.
question. Am I going to be able to comp with X leads in non-disclosure
Yes.
state?
I do it every state. I've tested it out. If not, just hit the refund button and I'll give you your money back. Like I'm not here to steal money from people. Like if it's not a good fit, let us know right away and we'll move on. We have a 3-day refund policy. The people are like, why do you make it so tight? Dude, I give you the absolute best value. Like at $49, you get anyone, no one's even within 50% close to me. Not even close. But we want a commitment from you and you learn it. So the disclosure is not an issue. But if you want to verify that, go in the so other ways is I always tell you people not always to take my word for it because we know how people are on the internet. Go inside of freewholesaling.com. There's an entire X Leads community in there. And also in YouTube, there's an X Leads where we do support calls every week. We do a live stream on Saturdays. There's a lot better stuff I'd rather do on Saturday than to do that. But I get it. You guys are busy. Some of you guys have full-time jobs. So we take Saturday morning and we try to answer every question. And if any question you submit an email, 100% of them get answered. Like it's non-negotiable. We spend a lot of money on staff and we want to get it done. So check out the Zach Discord and Wholesaling for Houses for Real. There's plenty of chatter about that. Listen, you can find the good and bad. Is it perfect? No, there's no software that's perfect. The only knock I ever heard is that your skip tracing is a little off. No, skip tracing is 100%. It doesn't exist. By the way, they all get the data kind of from the same place. The difference with our skip tracing, it is live. It is live data. It's not, we don't buy it. A lot of companies will buy all the phone numbers in the United States and they'll resell them for years. And then they wait and then they try to extract the profit. I'd rather just give you the live data. So check it out. You can go with the basic plan all the way up to the X plan, whatever your preference. And it's set where you can upgrade as you do better with it. So, so how did you get out of wholesaling? What happened?
So, well, long story short, my mom has cancer or had cancer. I went to New Jersey. I was helping her out
Awesome.
until she passed. And when she passed, I came back to New Mexico, back at it. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, I've been through that twice in the last 2 years with my mom and my sister. So it's painful.
Oh, man, sorry for your loss.
Yeah. And it's wholesaling helped a lot of it because I was able. So I had to take a lot of times, guys, when my sister passed away, I had to take 2 weeks, actually 2.5 weeks. And I just went down to Miami and I was just there and his hospice sucks. So yeah. Anyways, the whole idea why we do wholesaling is so we can be in a better position to basically help out our loved ones and the people that we care about the most. And that's what's most important to me. And my son, believe it or not, helped me get through a lot of it. And I feel for it. But like when times like that come up, try to put your guys in the best position so you can help family. It's not always financial. Uh-oh. I lost my video. Hold on. Okay, wait, wrong angle. Let's see. Boy, this always happens when I'm on here.
Technology, right?
Okay. Now I was dealing with the button, to be honest with you. So, yeah, Philip, get back into it. The X Leads thing's it's pretty straightforward, and the idea is it's only geared towards wholesaling. And so, if that's what you want to do, and that's what you want to do, and get back into it. And sometimes after times like that, keeping busy is good therapy. But I'm a stoic, man. Like unfortunately, you have to deal with the emotions in front of you and process them. And I don't want you ever to use wholesaling to hide behind them. Because I had a tough time my first year after that, just taking, when you took time off outside of work, I felt like naked, but I think that's a normal human condition type of deal. So I'm sorry about your loss. I think it was awesome you were there to help your mom out during her time. And if you ever need anything, just reach out to me. I'm happy to help you out.
Will do. So now, I guess last question. I came kind of in. It looked like you were doing some kind of comping, not like the traditional comping. So does X Lead still allow you to do that? Like shows you all how
so in the X Leads thing, as I showed you, I'll show you real quick. just to give you an idea so you understand. So I went through it. At first, I gave you the most complicated way to do it up front, which is ridiculous, which is how I used to do it way back then. And then I gave you a little bit better way to do it where you can go through freewholesaling.com. I still think that's still a lot of work, but if I'm new, so if I go on here and I show you the comp, if I go back to this, you'll see right here in the first sector, it's going to give you an ARV and a rough wholesale number. And trust me, I do this one by low. And you know, I teach the go for no. This is it. So if I know the property's worth 225 and the guy goes, listen, I'll entertain an offer on 160, I'm going to work with that guy. We're not far off, right? We're not far off. But when they come back and say my house is worth, 589, I'm like, I'm not even going to lift my finger. I'm like, I go, tell me how you came up with that number. And the whole idea of it is if I'm ripping through like 100 phone calls, I don't want to comp every property. So I can scroll through it. And if somebody puts on there, I know exactly who I'm talking to. I know the numbers. I know if they have a mortgage. I know everything I want to know about it. But the reality, guys, is you spend time vetting people, then the property. Because if people have the motivation, it doesn't matter what's wrong with the property, they're never going to sell it to you. And I don't waste time. So most people, if they have 100 leads, they want to comp every one of them before they talk to them. Don't do it. Just talk to the ones. And when you get down, you get someone you're having a great conversation, you're connecting with them, and you've identified a problem that you could potentially help them out with. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, stick that in my leads, and then I'm going to comp it. And when I call them back, I'll have my numbers popped up there. But the reality is, if the house is worth 225, do you really care if it's worth 230 or 220? Like, if you're getting that close in the numbers, you're going to get killed in wholesaling. I'm going to come on the property and probably offer like 108 or like 115. And I know they're going to reject me and they're going to give me a counter offer. And if I've set and framed my conversation up correctly, once I gave an offer of say 110, and they came back and go, I can do 158. Now, all I got to do is go from 158 to 110 and find somewhere in there. And that's where you can do any type of negotiation. I spend more time on my conversations than I do on the negotiations. Because when it comes down to it, either I'm a great fit, I solve the problem, and they agree they want to move on with their lives. If it's purely about price, I know 99 out of 100 times I'm going to lose. So if I know it's only about price, I do not spend a lot of time with those people. Maybe I refer them to a realtor. Maybe I follow up in 3 or 6 months. I just don't spend energy. I don't even think about comps till I talk to people. And once I start going through the MCTP, I find out what the problem is. If I find a problem, something that they need help with, then I'm all in. But the reality is I've talked to 100 people. I might find 10 or 12 with a problem. So we have to do that initial sorting. You have to use a software so you can sort through it. No matter how, if you do it, cold call, SMS, whatever it is completely up to you to sort that out. And you want something that you can pull lists from, which you can do in X Leads. You can get their phone number and their email, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. You can use a Go high level account in the beginning. I suggest you don't until you learn it. There is a simple CRM built inside of X Leads. Then, if you decide, you could do any type of automation on follow-ups. You can also, on the advanced plan, not on the basic, I don't hide this from anyone, there's an entire disposition software. Why? Because if I have a property in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I've never been there before, how the hell am I going to sell it? It's going to take me hours, if not weeks, to figure out a buyer. Inside X-Leads, you have the push button. It'll tell you all the buyers in that area, the ones that like to buy at that price point in that neighborhood. You don't have to vet them anymore because you know they're 100% legit. And that's been a huge game changer. And so this disposition software, which used to be an ungodly price, which I don't blame the person for throwing out the price because they were the first to the market. But as you know, things have gotten a lot more competitive. I don't think you need to pay 30, 40, 50 grand for dispo software. In fact, you could probably hire an employee to do that for you. So start with the basics. Don't overload yourself. And remember, the whole point is to get marketing lists so you can chase people down to see if they'll sell you their house. And so with X Leads, even with the basic plan, you want to be able to pull lists and get people's phone numbers and email addresses. And even with the most basic plan, you can do that. And then you can decide, It's easy for me to give you guys 5 users and stuff, but who wants to pay $200-$300 a month to have 5 users when 95% of you are a one-person army? I know I was for 7 years.
Right.
So, so check it out. If you have any questions, xleads.com. And I said, if you have any questions with me, so I'm glad you're back into the fold. I'm glad you're a man that takes care of your mother, and just put that example on with the rest of your family, and then use wholesaling to get freedom, because we have no idea what tomorrow offers. And we just want to put ourselves in the best position as humanly possible. So that's why I got into wholesaling, guys, because I was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. And I know a lot of you guys relate. I was getting nowhere. And honestly, I hated my boss. 70% of Americans hate who they work for. So if you've decided to do wholesaling and you're tough enough to do it, like you got a David Goggins attitude, go for it. Remember, everything I offer you is not a requirement. It's just to help you. You guys can do wholesaling without spending one dime with me ever. And I know that's counterproductive for me saying that, but it's the truth. And the more I help you guys out, I'm doing the exact same thing I tell you to do with your sellers, right? Develop a relationship, show them trust, show them that you want to help them, show them solutions. And then if there's opportunity to make money together, let's go for it. What does every other guru do? You got to pay me up front because I have to guard my time because I don't trust you. And listen, I don't blame people who do that, but like, I just think it's an old school business model and they're going to lose a lot of customers in the long run. So, but that's it.
So you're basically saying you have these conversations with the folks. They say they want retail value. You just don't. You can put them in a follow-up, but so if somebody wants 500 for a property worth 220, I just don't know what kind of conversation you can have. There's only 2 things that are going to change their mind. What are they? 2 things: motivation,
time, and circumstances. Right? Time as a way of humbling all of us. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You ever have something you go, man, I'm going to sell it. I got this car. I'm going to sell it for 55 grand. You put it out there, market 3 months, 6 months goes by, not one offer. People making you $20,000, $30,000 lowball offers. Then you go, okay, now I'm motivated to sell. And that's unfortunately when people think that high, they think they're smarter than the market, or maybe they're just not serious about selling, right? I don't have time for people like that. And I'm not going to spend a lot of energy on it. Some people will deep dive. Chris is trying to figure out how he can maybe scrape out an extra 2 or 3 deals a year out of it. And you just got to decide how much effort you want to do it. And by using the ninja mode inside of XLeads, there are some automations built into it. It's going to take you some time to learn it. And if you want to do it, me personally, if you want 2.5 times the value of the property, I'm not going to spend a lot of, to me, that's not a motivated. I would question if it's even motivated. And if it's not motivated, you'll waste your time. That's like taking 1,000 leads off MLS and go, I know I can get a deal here. I don't know about you. Do I want to have 1,000 conversations with realtors? I don't, because I would be better off sending out direct mail or doing a reverse driving for dollars or just doing more JVs with you guys. It's so low with realtors. People don't understand. And the margins are so thin. There's very little opportunity to do JVs. Do they do them? Yes. But personally, I just don't think it's worth my time. So you have to decide how you want to move forward. And if you work with us, we can just help you set up the parameters. I don't care if you buy XLeads or not. I only want to work with motivated people because I only have so much time in a day. And I don't want to have senseless conversations that go nowhere. So there's a huge difference between somebody who wants to sell a house and someone who needs to sell a house. Us wholesalers have to go out and find people that need to sell the house. Anyone else, in my opinion, is just a waste of my time because I don't get paid by the hour. And I don't want any of you guys to get stuck with that. So you got to understand that. So
yeah.
Welcome back.
I don't want to take up time from everybody else, but what I've been running into is people who say, well, you're telling me we need all this rehab, but I could sell it to somebody who's just going to move in and rehab it over time. So that's just a realtor conversation, right?
Yeah. And you know what? The thing, it's like my favorite one is I could get 2,500 in rent. Yeah, but you're only charging 900. Well, then just increase it. If you can show me a lease on that, I'll pay you more. They can't because they know the condition of the property. Listen, the potential of the property, like what you could do and what you need to do, I only look at for what it is now. And so everyone says, oh, you could do this. Oh, I could tell it. Listen, you realize that the open market, when you go on MLS, their expectations is everything's perfect. I'm in the process right now of selling a $1.3 million house that we've had in our portfolio. If I told you the amount of crap I have to go through to sell this house, I rather just wholesale it. Just sell it 950 and move on with my life. But like, so on a $1.3 million house, they're worried about the filter basket on the pump. They're worried about like one of the tiles has little, and every one of these, it's like, we just keep going through it. And it just drives me nuts. And it's like, so like when people say, well, I could sell it to someone, I go, the reality is what you want to say is, well, why don't you just go ahead and do that? And sometimes I do that. It's called the Hail Mary when they go, I could sell it full retail without a realtor for 150 grand more than you're offering me. I'm like, why didn't you do it? Let's do it, dude. I want you to win. Like I tell people, I want you to win. There's a reason they're having a conversation with you, Philip. Like, do you think some people do waste time and you got to get through those people? But for the most part I agree. If you put the money in the property, you put the 100 grand into it and you fix it up and you list it with a realtor and you pay all the commissions and you go through all those hoops, you'll probably get what you want. But you told me you don't have the time for it and you want to move in with your mother in Louisiana. Am I correct? So I always focus on what they want to accomplish. The wish list, we all have it, right? I wish I was 20 pounds lighter. I wish I had a constant six pack. I wish, I wish my wife would greet me perfectly every time I walk to the door and do the laundry. Like it's like, we all have a wish list. The question is like, what do you need to get out of this property? And so I do not waste effort on people that are so in left field. And every now and then, if I can't get them to do anything, I'm like, go ahead and do it. Right. And because you think about this, Philip, if they list the property and they do all that and they put it out with the repairs, it ain't going to sell. And it's just going to get them a faster decision to work back with you. So sometimes we have to stay in sight, in mind. And the only way we can do that with some sort of follow-up system. But the reality is if I talk to 500 sellers and I can find 10 or 15 that are kind of ideal, of that 10 or 15, I'm going to work and shake down. Probably half of them I'm going to do comps on, and probably 4 or 5 of them I'm going to write an offer. And I constantly have to keep the machine running to do that. I do not try to force bad deals because it's just a waste of effort. Does that make sense?
I get it. Don't create
deals. So don't like that. You are not going to make a deal work in wholesaling. I'm sorry. Either they trust you, you connected with them, and you are solving a problem. So the guy or gal that shows up with comps go, you're 60 grand off the mark. It usually goes way south. Occasionally it works, but keep in mind, if you hang on comps, you're nothing more than transactional. And that's what we all have to understand. So Philip, you got it. Get back into it. Take a look at X Leads. If it's a good fit, then great. I would love to help you out with anything you need. So I'm happy you're back into wholesaling.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rick. I appreciate you.
No problem, man. I appreciate it. So guys, everybody understand, when you go to comp properties, do not brag about being the best comper, because that kind of makes you the best realtor. Comping's important. I'm not telling you to discount comping, but you need to spend your energy on marketing and cultivating your list to find your motivated sellers. And you have to understand how to do that. And the sooner you do that, the better off you'll do. And you got to understand it. So guys, if you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Rick Ginn channel, which is fun. Man, we had a lot of fun there last night. And make sure you check out my son's channel, Zach Ginn on YouTube. And we appreciate you. So click that subscribe button. We love you guys. Remember, we're dedicated to wholesaling. You have the right to cold call. You have the right to SMS. It has not been outlawed. Wholesaling is 100% legal. 2025, in my opinion, is going to be one of the best years for wholesaling. It's up to you to make it happen. So guys, have a good one. And I will talk to you guys on Thursday.